Mission success in public affairs, especially in external media communication, is being on point, staying within your lane, releasing imagery and video and stories and quotes by your leadership that are effective, are meaningful, and that tell what we're doing as it aligns with the rest of the Navy, the rest of DoD, the rest of what our country's priorities are as the deployed carrier strike group. We, as a media department, drive our content. People remember USS Theodore Roosevelt. They remember what we do, and a big part of that is because of the products and content that we create and the way that we as a department and myself as a public affairs officer interact with them. And that takes a high level of professionalism, quick turnaround, proficiency by the whole department. It takes high standards from the beginning when these things happen. And most importantly, it takes buy-in from the rest of the command and from the command leadership.
Being a mass communication specialist, we're expected to tell the Navy story. And the Navy story is so vast. We could be anywhere from alongside divers under the water to in the air next to some of the air crewmen and pilots. We're expected to showcase to the world everything that the Navy is capable of doing. And because of that, we need to be able to get those same qualifications and requirements so that we're safe no matter what environment we end up in.
Welcome to another edition of the Bully Broadcast. I'm your host, NC3 Rachel Trion. The video team on deployment has a wide range of projects that we get to work on. Anything from port briefs, where we show the crew exactly how they should be conducting themselves in port, to ship-wide trainings, to the movies that play throughout the ship, and my favorite part, the ship-wide TV show where we get to highlight sailors around the ship and keep them updated on new information that comes out. It gets a lot busier on deployment, which is awesome and it's fun, and you always have an abundance of people on the ship that are doing interesting things or working super hard that you get to capture and show to the crew. My favorite part about video is actually seeing people's reactions to the pieces that I make. It all starts with an idea, and I get to go out and capture the moments that are happening. You know, get interviews with the people who are actually doing the work and put it together with some awesome music, and then I get to create a final product which these people will cherish for the rest of their lives.
Other shops have printers too, but we have the meat and potato printer. We can print large jobs, large quantities of jobs, pages, things like that for qualification, for booklets that they need to be made, mass quantities of flyers, the recall cards for when people go into port. We pretty much print everything that you see on the ship, and other shops just can't handle that kind of magnitude. Anybody can come down and put a job in, and they're all mission essential. A lot of people will come down with a job idea, and it's not solid yet. They have an idea of what they want to see on paper, but they don't necessarily know what our capabilities are and what they need to get this message across. So we'll go back and forth and we'll figure out some of the things that they can use to apply to that job to make it look better. We'll draw some things up and design some things and come down with a product, show them a proof, and see if they really like it. And a lot of times they really like the end result.
Some of the joys you experience in the Photojournalism Work Center are getting your stories released and getting recognized, getting your photos released, getting that top image, getting those images released to various news outlets. Basically just getting your work recognized, not only by your peers, but people outside as well. Writing stories is also an essential part of photojournalism. Basically, you need to know how to talk to people, you need how to communicate your point, and you need to know what you're trying to get out of the story. And the more open you are to people, the easier it is to write your story. So as an MC, when you're on deployment, there's a lot more to it than just taking a basic photo. You're telling someone else's story. This is the opportunity for that mom, dad, aunt, uncle, cousin back home to see their loved one. And that's an opportunity that a lot of these people don't get unless you highlight them. That may be the one picture that they get throughout the whole deployment, and that's really important.
It was a pretty wonderful feeling on this deployment when our new Command Master Chief said to me he had never fully appreciated what a media department does for an aircraft carrier until he became the Command Master Chief. And then he saw how involved we were in everything that happens on the ship. But so much of what we do, is behind the scenes. The news magazine that we provide for the crew every week, the photo support that we provide to every single department. And then there's, our big moneymaker, which is our graphics and print media, print production capabilities. Most people don't stop to think about how all of those things happen. And all of those things happen because of the mass communication specialists in the media department.